All right, so let's do like some Q&A.
Yep.
A few people asked some questions on Instagram a few days ago, so it seemed like these were fairly quick to answer. So, first question. What made us decide on making our relationship public? Are there any limitations? And is one person more open to sharing more than the other?
Norman's more open because he fucking talks too much.
All day.
But yeah, sometimes I gotta tell him to shut the fuck up and stop telling my business. And he's like, "But it's my business." But yeah, still not. It's my business too.
It's my business.
I don't think we sat down and had a discussion on being up and open. I don't mind sharing our lives. I'd like to be as transparent and real as possible. I don't want shit to just look like fucking peaches and cream all the time. But we have fun and we cuss each other out, and you know, like it got its ups and its downs. So yeah, so we just want to show that. So I'm fine with real life. Aww.
What, do you have to scream like that? Like, you could come in a video and have to scream.
Yeah, so I'm fine with being open and showing our lives. We didn't sit down and talk about it though. Norman kind of just started telling y'all all our business, and I just kind of went with the flow with it.
So this is cool.
Yeah, I don't mind it. And yes, there's limitations to it. Y'all need to know all our motherfucking business, but pretty open for the most part. Like, you probably know about 70% of what's going on.
And the other 30 you just don't.
You just don't need to know.
All right, next question. How was it adjusting to living with a partner? Like, we just got married, but we've been living with each other for about 5 years now.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really hard to think back. I can't remember what the hell I had on yesterday. Like, I mean, I'm the boss, so whatever I said goes.
She's
like,
not the boss. I don't think there was anything that I was like, nah, I can't live with this girl.
You know, we never had that issue. We're not. When I say Norman is messy, it's not filthy. Like, he just like leaves his shit lying around. Like, it's not like I've never been like, oh my god, he's so fucking gross. Because like sometimes it's either men are really messy or women are really messy, and it like is a turn off. We've never been like messy like that. It's just like he'll leave shit lying around, and I have OCD, so I just
like,
why can't you? It takes 2 seconds to fold up the blanket.
Are like dirty. Messy.
Some people are dirty. Yeah, it's not dirty. So I feel like that's like one of the main. The same thing where you having a roommate, same type of issues you would have. You just are you clean? Do you take care of the bills? Like, you know, like pay your portions. Yeah, I mean, we never had any issues with that.
What was your take on dealing with a man who had a child with another woman?
I always said I would never date somebody that had a child.
I feel you.
And Norman was 21 and I was 23 when we started dealing with each other. And at the time, he was just somebody to have sex with. I didn't think that we was gonna go nowhere.
Great sex.
So, yeah, amazing. Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness. That's why I'm still here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Still
Anywho,
wearing that thing out.
Yeah, like I didn't expect it to go this far, but I loved Hayden. He was a good kid, and he was mad cute too, so that helped. And he wasn't like some badass child. You're like, you know, I'm not fucking with this nigga no more. This kid is terrible. Yeah, so I mean, we grew on each other because we didn't plan on dating like that anyways, and then we hung out long enough, and he was around enough that it just became easy to deal with.
Family.
Yeah, and I mean, then at one point Hayden moved away, and then he ended up moving here full time with us by the time he was 3. So it was an easy transition for us. Yeah.
How do you?
Are these questions just for me?
I don't know. I have nothing to say. I feel like you're answering them pretty damn well. What do you do when the honeymoon phase fades, and how do you prevent from feeling like your relationship is just coasting along?
I feel like
because we've been together 8 years.
We've been together 8 years. Although we just got married, I feel like we've been married because we've been doing everything married couples would do. So for me, I don't really feel like there's a honeymoon phase because we've been doing this. So in our situation, it's a little different. It's not like a lot of people get with somebody and they get married 2 years in and then they have a honeymoon and they still don't fully know each other. I always say, Norman and I have been together 8 years. I always say the first 4 years were bullshit. Yeah. So there is no honeymoon phase when you're grown as fuck and been in a long-term relationship. I don't feel like there's a honeymoon phase. Like, you guys are dedicated on building your foundation and building your family and your legacy, that you're too focused on all the shit you got going on around you that there never truly was a honeymoon phase in the first place. You'll take your little times to yourself with finding time to have date night because we got kids and hoping to get at least one trip in a year, but it's never really a honeymoon phase. Like, the trip we went on for our honeymoon was your 30th birthday trip anyways. It wasn't even like a real honeymoon. We never got the experience to do shit as just me and you,
right,
that we don't feel like we're missing out on that anyway. So we never had it. It's not like we had it and then we lost it. It never was there in the first place. So
so it's not like we were together, young, no children ever, and then we were just out here with the utmost amount of freedom.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then we got locked down and it was like, oh, this shit's whack now.
Yeah.
So I would say, for me, just like how you said, the first 4 years were kind of like shaky and all over the place. But the past 2 years, 2.5 years, we actually know what we want out of life now. It took 5.5, 6 years to get to that point. So from this point forward, we're still nowhere near our goals, but we're working towards them every day. And I think that makes it exciting, knowing that you're literally with somebody that you're trying to build with, and you're taking it to the next level every single day. That's what makes it exciting for the long term, because we have shared goals and we have not reached those goals yet, and we're working towards them. So it can't be nothing but exciting trying to work towards something every day. If you're a lot of the boredom comes from not honestly dreaming together and goal setting together.
And even once you get to those goals, there ends up being new goals. So it never
create
ends.
new ones, right?
It's always something more that you want out of it. So
I'll say the toughest part of it is actually finding somebody that you actually want to do real shit with, not just have fun with. You gotta find somebody you really want to build something with. Just the motions of going through trying to acquire those goals is really enough excitement to take you to the long haul anyway.
Yeah, we're lucky enough that what we do in business kind of intertwines with one another.
Yeah.
So we can relate to each other on the business aspect, where a lot of people's relationships, they're hindered at that point where they can't communicate, and you might be working so long that I'm starting to feel some type of way because you're not around, but and then when you come around, I don't want to talk to you about what the hell you got going on. But in our situation, it's so similar that it ends up working out. We're just unique.
How do you manage family time and your relationship while working 7 days a week? I'll start this one off.
Sure.
I always say this: I don't think there's a such thing as work-life balance. You just do your best, or you try. Some days, the family might get your attention, and then the next 4 or 5 days it might be all work. But you have to try to make sure you're present in people's lives.
I mean, I think that's just specific to you, though. I definitely take on more of the family time, and you take on more of the work time, and we just try and dibble and dabble in the relationship time when we can. But for family, I'm usually taking on the load of the kids, or you're taking on doing more work, and I'm okay with that. But you still gotta fit yourself in there every now and then to take on.
There's definitely still more that needs to be done with me, getting that family time in and time in with you.
I feel like that leads into more of just life as an entrepreneur. It's hard. Actually, not even just an entrepreneur, just anyone working. Yeah. It's hard to manage life, period. Not just the separation of family and work, but in relationship, but work, family, relationship, working out, eating right, fucking washing your ass. You gotta find time to do all that shit. So some things get left out sometimes. Hopefully not washing your ass, but sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes.
But yeah, I feel like sometimes certain things have to get left out, and it sometimes puts a damper on you when you sit back and think fuck, I wish I could eat better, and I wish I could put more time into working out, and I wish I could spend more time with you. Just gotta figure it out, and try and cut back on certain knick-knacky things that end up building enough time for you to actually fit those other things in.
And it's very unique in our situation because we don't necessarily. Sometimes we do work every day. 7 days a week. We don't. There's no clock in, clock out situation. I'm pretty much on the clock 24 hours a day. I wake up at 5 a.m. now, and I'm texting people from last night because I go to sleep at 10. Somebody might have DM'd me or emailed me at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm on the treadmill or on the Stairmaster at 5:30 in the morning, and I'm replying to emails at 5:30 in the morning. And I'll reply to emails at 9:50 right before I go to bed too, and I'm shooting at 2 o'clock, and I'm editing from 4 to 7, and so you never really have you never clock out. So it's tough because if you had a 9 to 5, obviously you can at least say, hey, I'm gonna be at work from 8 to 5:30, and you have this allotment of time to try to do something every day. Whereas I have no idea.
That's the thing, because you've been an entrepreneur for so long. It's so easy for you to say that, but I just came out of working not too long ago, and it was I felt like it was way more difficult to manage life working 9 to 5.
With a set schedule?
Absolutely. Yeah, because the 9 to 5, considering getting ready in the morning and traveling there and then traveling back and trying to wind down when you get home, your whole fucking day is gone. You can't fit anything else in. You're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get yourself together, to get the kids together, to go to daycare, to go to work. Hopefully you ate something because now you're about to be groggy as fuck doing whatever you got to do during the day. Then you're at work all day, and then you got to get yourself back home, possibly pick up the kid from daycare depending on what your schedule is. And by the time you get home, it's fucking 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now, am I making dinner?
Yeah, you make dinner and you wash your ass.
And it's time for bed. Like I gotta spend
tomorrow.
2 seconds with the baby to be able to like see what the hell went on today, and then that's it. It's time to go to sleep. So it was way, at least here with him being out of daycare now and me being home, I have that time where I'm at least know that I'm getting that in, and I can try and work out with him around, and I can try and read a book, like so I can fit a little more of the knick-knacky things in that I couldn't before. I can try and cook.
Yeah. So
It's
the
way
freedom,
better.
the freedom of even though you have no set time that you're gonna be at work, you have the freedom of all of your hours being whatever you need them to.
Correct. So I can work 2 hours in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon, 4 hours at night. It's just way better that way for me. When I was working at an actual job for the man, that shit was terrible. It was way worse. And I was exhausted because I was running around all day.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's way worse.
First impression of me.
He's fine as fuck. And his baby's cute.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's on Twitter. I manifested you.
Yeah. Well, I manifested you in 9th grade in high school.
I did not know Norman in high school.
Ashley swears she didn't
I
know
had
me
no
in high
idea
school.
who he was.
But
When I started talking to you, I found out you were 21. I had to ask you. I had no idea you were that young.
I walked up into Bloomfield High School, ninth grade. I was one of the smoothest young boys. Man, listen. Walked up in. It was 2 junior shorties. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be on their heels. I ain't gonna say the other shorty name, but y'all was
my
cool.
friend.
Y'all, they was cool. They was walking the hallways together. I said, yo, I want both of their ass. And then the friend, I actually talked to her. She recognized me as a human being when we were in high school. She told me I was gonna be her boyfriend and everything after I graduated high school. I actually believe that shit. Like that 13-year-old shit. I was like, yeah, when I graduated high school, yeah. And then apparently I met Ashley much later.
The Juice Bash.
On Chatham Street, 2011, summer,
Yep.
July, 4th of July-ish of 2011. I officially met her there.
He didn't even actually meet me. We just saw each other there. We didn't introduce each other, nothing. It just saw him there, and that kind of.
And I was like, I'm about to hit that jump.
Oh, okay. I found Norman. I saw Norman for the first time on Twitter, and that's when I saw him. Was like, oh, he's fine as fuck, and his baby's mad cute. I'm gonna talk to him. I didn't think we was gonna be in a real relationship. Though. I'm gonna talk to him. And then I saw you at Juice thing, and you was trying to stick around. You was trying to be around.
Me. I played a wall. I played a wall.
But you was around. No.
I ain't never
you ain't say
bagged a
nothing,
shorty
but
in
he
my
was
life.
around. He was there with his swim trunks on.
I ain't never bagged a woman in my life. I put myself in a position. Yeah, so you see me, you know what time it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then he hit me up on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I told him I don't know what the fuck you talking about. He said some shit to me and I cussed back at him. But yeah, that's how it all happened. Twitter days.
Yeah.
He says Bloomfield High, but I didn't know him then.
Yeah, all that. We'll try to keep this one short. How did we decide that we wanted to start businesses?
I mean, I've wanted to start a business since I was a kid. I just always knew that I was meant to do something. I thought I was going to be a fashion designer. I thought I was going to be a writer, like a freelance writer when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I always felt like there was something else that I was supposed to be doing when I was doing whatever the fuck I was doing. So it kind of just ended up finally coming to fruition. I found something working with friends. I kept saying to my friends over years, like, we got to find something. We all got creative minds. We got to find something that we could all do together.
Yeah.
And then a glow appeared.
Yeah, it's been in me since I was very young too. I moved to Connecticut when I was 9. I was making money independently on my own from like 10, 11 years old. I was cutting grass. My grandfather had bought a riding lawnmower when I was really young, and he made me cut the grass. That was like one of my main chores, to cut the grass. And I think somebody just like walked up to me one day, one of the neighbors in our neighborhood, and was like, "Hey, I'll give you $15 if you cut my grass." And I asked my grandfather, I said, "Hey, can I cut the grass?" He said, "Yeah, but you know, you gotta put the gas in it. You gotta make sure you save money, like all this stuff." And I'm making $15. He talking about something, put something aside so you can pay for the gas, because I ain't paying for the gas if you cutting other people's grass.
Yeah.
And that was at like 10 years old. And I did that. I cut grass and shoveled snow from 10 all the way up till I went to college. And it got to the point where like Like it went from $15 a lawn up to I think the most I was getting for one lawn was $50. And that transitioned into me believing that I wanted to be like a rapper, because my friends made beats and they rapped, and I linked up with them, and I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit to have my own. So I bought everything I needed. I took one of my first big checks from working a official job and spent like $2-3 grand on like some studio equipment, and I was rapping for like a month at the time. And then that transitioned into me deciding to buy a camera, and it just went from there. And yeah.
Keep it short, huh?
Yeah. That was short. That was the short version. It's much longer than that. But honestly, I feel like for both of us, it's just been in me since I was little, been in you since you were little. It just makes sense when you get older and you start realizing how this world works. It just made sense to work for yourself.
Mm-hmm.